express my thanks to the NAACP for hosting this conference today. Congresswoman Gwen Moore from this area, Congresswoman Gwen Moore, Senator Lena Taylor. I want to play a tape for you first to show you the climate that we're dealing with here in Wisconsin, particularly in this area. Bishop?
Right here.
Excuse me, Reverend, one moment. If we cannot have other press conferences while we have a press conference, it would be much appreciated. Go ahead, Reverend.
This is the voice of the sheriff in this area. This is the climate center. Bill?
We can't turn it on.
No, it's a.
And having small children, let's put them away. At some point, we have to stop being politically correct. I don't care what race, I don't care how old they are. If there's a threshold that they cross, these people have to be warehoused. No recreational time in the jails. We put them away. We put them away for the rest of their lives so that the rest of us can be better. If society has to come to a threshold where there's some people that aren't worth saving, we need to build warehouses, put these people into it, and lock them away for the rest of their lives. Let's put them in jail. Let's stop them from truly, at least some of these males, going out and getting 10 other women pregnant and having small children. Let's put them away. At some point, we have to stop being politically correct. I don't care what race, I don't care how old they are. If there's a threshold that they cross, these people have to be warehoused. No recreational time in the jails. We put them away. We put them away for the rest of their lives so that the rest of us can be better.
Bishop, how can the press link to this? They couldn't hear this well. Here is the sheriff speaking of warehousing people, putting them with the rest of their lives in this anti-protest season. How can they link to this?
Part of our challenge is both with the patronizing of the police chief of the 17-year-old. There was no reason for a 17-year-old to carry a loaded weapon to try to preserve peace in the city of Kenosha. You had city police, you had county police, you had 1,000 National Guard. You had more than enough security in the city to do the job of law enforcement. These individuals are linked. Militias are part of the racism problem. Koinon is a part of the racism problem, and institutional racism. You can go to our website, rainbowpush.org, and retrieve this recording of the sheriff saying we need to build warehouses for these people. He's using this dog and whistle. These people. We are not these people. We are black people, and Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter!
I want to express my thanks to leadership gathered here today. Athletes who stood up. I think LeBron James deserved a Nobel Prize.
Yes.
Standing up in Trayvon case in Miami. Standing up, building a school in Ohio for Breonna Taylor he deserves. He's changed the culture of athletes in America today. I want to make this point clear. There's a pattern of killing black people. When Roof killed 9 black people in church in Charleston, South Carolina, police took him to get a hamburger before taking him to jail. He walked away. The killer walked away free. When George Floyd was killed in Minnesota, the killer went home that night. The prosecutor said nothing could happen. The next day when Keith got the case, first time in the history of Minnesota black police had been indicted for killing a black. Breonna Taylor, the killer in Kentucky, still walks free today. The killer of Jacob, still home, the shooter, walks free today. The fact of the matter is, prosecutors said in Minnesota they could not find a case against the killer of George Floyd. Keith Ellison, as Attorney General, moved quickly and indicted them. Now they're guilty to proven innocent because of the horrendous killing. The burden upon the state's attorney in this state, Attorney General, to move and move quickly. We must know that justice works for the people. Second, I want to make this concern that shot in the back 7 times.
7 times.
No, just in front of his children. No justification. When Laquan McDonald was killed in Chicago, covered up the tape. 400 days, 16 shots. The line said he approached him with a knife. The film showed he shot him in the back. 16. Paid $5 million for cover-up, and it didn't work. So well, Laquan McDonald, Breonna Taylor, Jacob here in Wisconsin, pattern. We demand justice from the country. There's a kind of moral desert at the top. This year, today, 57 years, I was in Washington, D.C. Just left jail in Greensboro, North Carolina, trying to use a public restaurant. The president had a little power, but had aspirations for justice and decency. Today, there's a moral desert, top down. Acid rain is coming, top down. When Dr. King gave a speech in Washington in John Lewis, 1963, only one black official in the whole South, Leroy Johnson from Atlanta, Georgia. From Texas to Florida, to Maryland, we couldn't use a single public toilet. We couldn't buy ice cream with Howard Johnson. Couldn't rent a room at Holiday Inn. We lived in tyranny. Black and brown, so sat behind Nazi prisoners of war on American military bases. 57 years later, there's something more sinister. Case of Minnesota, Wisconsin, up south. Something's going awry. President Trump said in a speech in Chicago, if protesters, if you violate them, I'll pay the bill. It's a signal. Lock them up in the paddy wagon, put them in the truck and hurt their heads, it's all right with me. That climate, top down, a kind of moral desert, hurts all of America. In some sense, here in Wisconsin, the burden is upon the white church and white citizens. It's not to be swept with a clean brush. It should be white, more whites here, more white ministers should be here. Because this policeman who shot Jacob, 7 times in the back, 7 times in the back, 7 times in the back. There was no threat to them. The investigation should be, and the 2 who watched it, they should be indicted as well.
That's right.
Because if Jacob had shot the police 7 times, he couldn't have gone home that night.
Come on, sir.
We need police, but not above the law.
Right.
Be fair, be honest. So in some real sense. And then a young man, 17 years old, his home training, says that he has the right to run down the street with a loaded weapon. Now, Jacob had no weapon, anyone could see. Shot, he ran the street with a rifle, killed 2 people. Run right down the street and please give him a bottle of water. We deserve better than this. We must protest until the 3 of them have been indicted.
Right. Convicted.
Indicted,
Prosecuted.
being convicted and prosecuted, and then indicted first. They must not sleep at home at night in comfort. The white neighbors must not be sanctuaries for killers. Charleston, South Carolina, or St. Louis, or Lafayette, Louisiana last week. White must not be sanctuary for killers. We deserve better than this.
Yes, sir.
America must be America for all of us. Fought enough wars, paid enough taxes, we deserve equal protection under the law. We're not getting it. So I want to open up now. I want to again on the athletes. In a real sense, they fulfill divine prophecy. And they refuse to play ball. They choose emancipation over entertainment. David in the Bible Sampson. They chose entertainment over a mass print of entertainment. They fought for people, not just for a match. When Jack Johnson stood up and fought back, a time when blacks were untouchables, there were riots after the fight. That's just the ones why when you ran the race and Hitler walked away. He said, well, I came back home and Roosevelt didn't shake my hand either. Kurt Flood, athlete.
Come on.
Was sent him from St. Louis to New York. So it can't be sold. He lost his baseball career. Every American has free agency today because of Kurt Flood.
Free agency.
He refused to be a slave.
That's right.
The same is true with basketball player who refused to accept the idea he couldn't play until his time was up. When these athletes stand up, we commend them, we stand with them. I want America to be America for all of its people today. What a great moment to be alive in many ways. I would say to the citizens of this area, be nonviolent and disciplined. Not because we're scared, but because we're smart. They want to use the riots as I would say to the citizens of this area, be nonviolent and disciplined. Not because we're scared, but because we're smart. They want to use the riots as commercials for this president. We're not let them use the fires as commercials. Following the Nixon surrender in 1968. In Legion 68, Nixon said, if I become president, I'll stop it. This is happening under Trump today. Americans need better and deserve better leadership. We must end the moral desert we're under. Media asks questions now. Mr. Harris, thank you, my brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Reverend Jackson, will Operation and NAACP help the two people who were killed? One of them was my bodyguard as we peaceful protest that was killed out here by these white malicious group. The family had no money to put him away. Can we get a donation from y'all to donate to that family to bury these people?
We will work together.
One got to go GoFundMe page. The only one. Only one. But since they want to come out here and talk about it, we haven't seen you out here at none of our protests. Since day one, I've been out here every day.
Okay, sir, we got you.
Step right over there.
Reverend Jackson, I have to take over here.
Shut up, I live out here.
Okay, at this point, I'm gonna ask the media any questions for Reverend Jackson, because Reverend Jackson deserves to get out of this heat.
Oh, mine wasn't a question?
Yeah, we got you.
We got you.
We got you.
We got you, brother.
We got you.
Questions from the media?
From the media, please.
Any questions?
And you know me, Judge.
Any questions from the media?
I am the media. I'm recording for Black Lives Matter.
Okay.
You got your question, sir. We answered it. We got
You
your
didn't
back.
answer it.
We will help raise the money to bury them with dignity.
That's what I wanted, was a commitment. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you,
Now,
Reverend
will the
Jackson.
NAACP do a commitment?
Yeah, they will.
I'm with. We together.
No, I know I'm with. Will the NAACP
Yes, certainly. We
do a
commit to help you.
Thank you.
Do what you need to do. Reverend Jackson, thank you for being here. I'm going to ask the mayor.
Who got a question?
Media.
Okay, go ahead, Dr. Reverend Jackson's got a question.
Media.
Media, yeah. Media?
You need more than that.
Media?
Don't do that to me again. I know what I was.
No questions, Doc.
I really hope that the three men who shot and killed Jacobs, they shot him in attempted murder, should be in jail until he can walk. He should be in jail until he can walk. Second, the young man who killed the two. I want Congresswoman Moore to speak in Senator Taylor.
No, just a minute. Excuse, one moment, please. The mayor of this fine city has graced us with his city, and we just want to hear from our mayor. Followed by the mayor of this city will be Congresswoman Gwen Moore, Senator Lena Taylor.
I'm going to defer to my colleague, who is the senator in this area, Senator Work.
Okay, in that order. And when that is done, we'll get back to the agenda as it was written. Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor.
Well, I want to thank Reverend Jackson for coming again. It's been a long time since the two of us have chatted, so many years ago. So I do wish to welcome him to Kenosha, and I also want to welcome my old friend Gwen Moore, who served with me in the legislature many years ago. Well, not a few years ago, maybe it was. I just want to say to everyone here that the city is more than willing and will be working with the NAACP, LULAC, and other minority communities to work together to try to solve systemic racism in our community. It's not going to be quick, but we will begin that process. The clergy will be joining us, and we are going to make sure that in the future we have a community that is safe for all individuals. So with that, Reverend Jackson, thank you so much for coming.
Congressman Gwen Moore.
Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, what does that entail?
Keep your eyes on the prize.
What does that entail?
Let us not get distracted by the effort for them to turn us all around. I just want to remember in southeastern Wisconsin, I was born right down the road in Racine on Lake Michigan. You know, we had the leadership in defying the fugitive slave order. This is a state that is capable of understanding that we're all brothers and sisters. So, like Julia Jackson, I just urge you and our late great John Lewis, keep your eye on the prize, y'all, and let's stick together.
Thank you, Congresswoman Gwen Moore. There was a question for the mayor. Following the question being answered, Mr. Mayor, will you answer this gentleman's question?
I was going to.
Please come forward. I need anyone that's not speaking to just take a step back.
Very quickly.
But the question was,
What are we doing? Yes. We have a number of months ago, the city already had started working with the clergy in the city on dealing with how we were going to deal with racism and how we were going to start dealing with some of the problems that we're facing. Those meetings had been going on now for, as I said, at least 2 months, if not longer. And in fact, what we've been doing is putting together how we were going to do it, committees being put together to deal with it, and having groups, like basically using clergy and other leaders in the community to take charge of that concept. We're also working with the Department of Justice and looking at, in the future, having some meetings that will occur at churches, having people come in and talking about what we need to do. The Department of Justice is going to help us to incorporate those type of things. So those are just the things that are starting to go.
thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Well, what we didn't have in 63, we didn't have the right to vote. The 60-day countdown now to ending the moral desert, making flower bloom in the desert again in our country. As the rain is coming top down, there's a sense that it's permitted for Americans to violate Americans. We deserve better than that. We're going to march, we're going to protest, and nonviolent discipline in big numbers. These 3 men in jail, and the young man who shot the 2 men. We challenge the white church, the white people, don't be a sanctuary for these killers.
Thank you, Doc. The next person is Senator Welch. The senator for this district, Mark Wirtz. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Senator Wirtz, and I'm a history major. And like Gwen said, one of my heroes was John Lewis. John Lewis, may he rest in peace, set an example for all of us. And I like to keep it simple. Pray for peace, work for justice. That's what we have to do in this community. We don't want left-wing violence. We don't want right-wing violence. We want peaceful demonstrations, and by God, we want change.
Yes, thank you.
Now, what have we been doing? I've been working with Senator Taylor for criminal justice reform in this state. We need to do that. It is shameful that we have 25,000 people in our prisons versus Minnesota has, what, 6,000 or something like that? We have to change the criminal justice system, mass incarceration, and we can start by a special session in Madison, and by God, we follow it up by voting in November for permanent change. That's how we change things in this state, and thank you for